What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Renebean, and welcome to another episode of Live Video Game Hunting, the series where I show you all the awesome stuff I've gotten through the past week or so. You know, through yard sales, garage sales, flea markets, thrift stores, all over the place, using apps like Let Go, OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook, just whatever I can use to get my hands on awesome games at excellent prices. As always, stick through to the end of the video because I go everything on a one-on-one level as well as anything you didn't see on camera. And I also announced the winner to the weekly contest giveaway. If you want to be entered, the rules are super simple. Obviously, be subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, share this video so other people can see these awesome finds, and leave a comment down below, hopefully something positive. Links to everything in the description below. And I also want to make the announcement, it is absolutely official. I will be going to the Super Famicom Convention on Friday and Saturday in Greensboro, North Carolina. I really hope to see some of you guys down there. If you see me, come up and say hello. I'm super nervous. I've never been to any convention in my life. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. With that said, there's probably not going to be a live video next Sunday, but we're going to have some footage of the convention, hopefully. So like I said, if you're going to be down there, I think it is 17th, 18th, and 19th, Greensboro, North Carolina, Super Famicom. Check it out. I hope to see some of you guys down there. Super excited about that. But with that said, we got a very awesome episode here. We got some really cool stuff. So I want you all to sit back and relax and enjoy these awesome live pickups. Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode here. As you can see, I am at the Goodwill that I work directly across from, and I actually got lucky. It is so rare that I have any sort of luck at Goodwill nowadays. If you have not seen my sucky side video of Goodwill, check it out. Some excellent points I make there. You know, the sad thing about it is a lot of people commented that said, you know, I used to work at Goodwill and everything you said was true. And that's crazy because I've said a lot of shitty things about them. But anyways, you can see we are here at Goodwill. The only time that you will get lucky is if an employee who does not do the individual pricing puts the stuff out without them knowing. And that was the case here. You can see stuff just thrown in the cage. This is when I actually got fairly lucky. I was so happy about it because it's been so long since I've gotten anything at a Goodwill. So I call an employee over and she opens it up for me. She's actually like my most favorite person to deal with when it comes to Goodwill. She is very nice, very friendly. And you see the first game I pick up here is Okami for $5. That was a pretty damn good deal. It goes for about 15 to 20 bucks. I apologize in advance for this horrible film work. I am trying to do this very discreetly without her really seeing that I'm filming because I did not have my spy glasses on me at the time. Now, the typical view I have when I come to this Goodwill behind this cage is everything is nice and organized and pretty because I guess he feels if it is, it's going to sell this stuff at the price that he has priced it at because it will all be individually priced. But you see here how everything is just kind of thrown in. You see I pick up an N64 controller, checking the joystick, picked it up for $5 or $4 or $5, I believe, which was an excellent deal. But all this stuff was just thrown in here randomly because it had to have been someone who does not typically do the pricing of this stuff. And that's how I was able to find so much good stuff here. Like even the GameCube controllers, he will have individually priced eBay style. But I was able to pick these up for $5 a piece as well. It was an excellent pickup. And I am so happy for it because, like I said, I rarely get any finds at Goodwill nowadays. The best place to do thrift store shopping nowadays is at the mom and pop style ones. I have one near me called the Brother Wolf, which is excellent. But other than like Goodwill and Salvation Army, there's not that much around here now going towards the whole maximize profit sort of thing, the eBay style pricing, which is a shame because all this stuff is donated. But bitching aside, like if you want to hear me now, you didn't see, but I did pick up two Game Boy games, one for the DS and one for the Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance game was The Lion King 1.5, and for $1, which is absolutely excellent. And then Mario and Luigi, I think it was Superstar Saga. And then you'll see here in this bin right here, all this stuff was stuff that he had priced originally, but someone came and actually did an official markdown. And that's crazy because I never see markdowns happen anymore. That's one of those things where all this stuff will just be completely wiped out if it doesn't sell, and who knows where it's going. Believe it or not, the next day after this, all this stuff was cleaned up and there was barely anything in the shelf because I guarantee he took it right back out and went to start doing everything individually, which is, it's a shame, but hey, that's the way it is nowadays. I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy. The same week that I published the sucky side of Goodwill video, I actually get a few Goodwill finds. It's the irony of life. But anyways, like I said, one of the other times that you'll get lucky is if you go to the DVD CD rack and you'll see that they put mixed games in there just because they hurry or they think that they're a movie, that sort of thing. And I pick up De Blob for $1. It was an excellent deal. It's one that I did not have. I didn't mind paying that price. And a bit of advice that you should already know is always check every case you can if you have the time. You go through the sports games, look inside them. You never know what you're going to find. Games get swapped all the time. How many times have you been at a yard sale, opened up a game to find something else in it? Same goes with thrift stores. You see I find a copy of Zelda the Twilight Princess for the Wii for $1.50. Excellent pickup. Believe it or not, it's like one of the cheaper of the Zelda games. It's only worth like about $10 or so, but still, $1.50 was an excellent pickup. Now, as I'm going back through the narration here and watching this video, I see that there's a lot of stuff that you don't see me pick up. That's why I always recommend staying through to the end of the video. And, not only do I announce the winner to the contest giveaway, but you see all the stuff that I don't get on camera because there's things here, even though I was filming, you don't see, or things that you don't see me film that well. So always stick through to the end. Alright, so here I am Saturday morning, and as you can tell, that get factor is strong because it is dark out. As it gets later in the season, a little bit colder, you need to get there earlier and earlier if you want to get these finds. So I come across this Guitar Hero on tour for the Nintendo DS. It actually didn't have the game inside of it. It had everything else, the actual unit, the manual, the inserts, all that. I asked him how much he wanted. He said $2. I actually do find the game later on at his table, and he just threw it in for me. And of course, I asked him if he had anything else, and he does say he's got some other games, he just hasn't got them out yet. And, I was like, you know what, you set them out, I'll stop back by with you. And you actually see when I come back to his table, Hello Friend was checking them out, but he left a lot of good stuff behind, and I was able to pick up some more stuff from him. So always ask these people, you never know what they're going to have. So here he is. I walked around, I let him have some time to set everything up, because I wanted to hit, a handful more tables, especially since I first got there, because that's right when everybody's setting up, and I was going to give him a little bit more time. And as I come back, like I said, Hello Friend was already looking at, the stuff on his table, but he just looks for the stuff that he knows, Mario, Zelda's, that sort of thing. And I come across a handful of things that I didn't have, as well as some things that's going to pay for the lot, which was excellent. I come across the DS game that was for the Guitar Hero on tour. I was like, hey, man, this was supposed to be in there, and it wasn't. It's cool just to throw it in. He was perfectly happy with it. And then I find an NES controller, two other games, I believe, one for the 360, one for the original Xbox, or I'm sorry, the PlayStation 3, and one for the original Xbox, and then that very awesome Namco plug and play. I paid $10 for all that. It was an excellent deal. The NES controller alone is worth that, and I can always use it whenever I bundle with any of my systems. That's why I always tell you guys, go after your controllers. Controllers are such an overlooked item, and it's getting that way with memory cards too. Don't pay much for memory cards. Like I would say with controllers, but an N64 memory card can go for as much as $10. So I mean, always pick them up if you can. I really thought I got lucky with some Nintendo Powers, but they happen to be all Game Informers, which is not a terrible magazine. That's one of the great things about GameStop is for $15, the pre-owned games you get at a discount. But the subscription to Game Informer is worth it enough to me. I did leave this Wii U game behind. I just didn't know if it was going to be worth anything. I didn't know what the pricing of this guy's, what he was going to price things at. I do get a Realm Reborn for the PlayStation 3, though, which was an excellent pickup right there. I was very happy about that one because it was one that I did not have. I never seen that aftermarket Wii U sensor bar right there. I thought that thing was neat. Maybe I should have picked it up. Who knows? There's stuff that I leave behind all the time that you guys are like, hey, you should have picked that up. But hey, it happens. That's why I love you guys out there because y'all, help me just like I help y'all with things that you see me pick up that you may not know about. There's things that I should have picked up that I would have had no idea about. I asked him how much he wanted for the Sega Genesis. He said $30, a little bit too high for me. I didn't really want to mess with it, but for the pickups that I got, I was pretty happy. Alright, so here I am at a pawn shop that you have never seen me before at, I don't think, at least. Just because I never have luck at this place. They typically charge, pretty high, or it's picked through, and it's on a side of the town that I am never at. But I happened to be visiting a friend, and this was near it, and I stopped, and I'm glad I did, because I get some absolute excellent scores here. The best find I have ever had at this place. Maybe I've gotten lucky once or twice before with a few loose disc games, but nothing like I got today. I mean, you can see their pricing on this stuff is pretty damn high for a lot of it. A PlayStation 1 for $50, a Dreamcast for $130, and they don't really come with anything, just the controllers and hookups, maybe a game, but nothing special. I mean, their prices are definitely out there, and you can see this stuff is just getting, shoved in here because no one's really looking through it for some of the pricing that they have. But like I said, I got lucky this go around. They must have just put some fresh inventory in there, and I just happened to be the one to catch it, so I was very happy about it. Now I will say it's not so much that the games are overpriced. It's the consoles are definitely overpriced. You saw, I mean, $50 for a PlayStation 1, you're out your damn mind. But the games here, you'll see that there was a sign that says 360 PS3 games are $5. And then there's another sign that says PlayStation 2, original Xbox, and DS games are $5 or 3 for 10, which is actually a really good deal when you see the games that I was able to pick up. And for whatever reason, they will not include the Wii games with the DS, PlayStation 2, original Xbox. I guess they consider those, higher end games. Maybe it's just that Nintendo effect that it has on a lot of people. If it says Nintendo on it, it's got to be worth $1 billion. Maybe that's the case, but that wouldn't make sense for the DS games because I get some excellent games here, as you're going to see. I think another reason that I don't come to this pawn shop a lot is really they're just kind of assholes, man. Every time I've talked to them, they just seem kind of rude, and that's just a big turnoff for me. But I do think after the finds that I got here, I'm definitely going to make it more of a stop in the future. But you see right away, I get Wario, Masters of Disguise, Diddy Kong Racing. I mean, obviously these were games that were not picked through yet. And I thought, I see here the only 3DS game was Triforce Heroes, but it actually turned out to be, the Zelda Spirit Tracks for the DS. So you keep in mind, 3 for 10 on all games here, the DS, PlayStation 2, and original Xbox. So I was able to load up on a lot of awesome games here. A few that I did not have, as well as some excellent ones to sell. And I'll have people message and comment all the time that says, you know what, I don't have flea markets, our thrift stores are terrible, garage sales don't happen. Well, go to pawn shops. That's an overlooked place to hunt, and you can get some excellent deals there. And a lot of pawn shops that you go to, they will haggle the price with you. So if you see a price on a game, consider suggestion, ask if they'll do a bulk deal or take any bit off. But check this out, Mega Man X8 for the PlayStation 2, absolutely excellent. Keep in mind, these are 3 for $10 right here. That game alone is worth like 25, 30 bucks. And it's a little bit scratched up, but if it doesn't work, I got the resurfacer, so I got a great chance at making it work again. I picked up Bully for the PlayStation 2. That is a great game to bundle with the PlayStation 2. If you put that game with a system, it will sell because Bully is an excellent game. If you've never played it, it's like Grand Theft Auto in high school. It's absolutely excellent. Now, I had a subscriber tip me off to this game, which was Ace Combat Zero, the Belkin Wars, to always look out for it. It's about a $15 game, so of course I'm going to pick it up. The idea of this stop here, I spent about $30 altogether. Obviously, I made that money back, but I was able to make a little bit on top of that and add some awesome games to my collection, which is what it's all about. You don't build a collection by just overpaying prices and expect to get somewhere. You build a collection by getting stuff you don't have and selling the stuff that you already have, and that's just how it works, and that's the best way to do it. And oh, check this out, the Activision Anthology for the PlayStation 2, very cool. You'll actually see me pull out my phone quite a few times here, and everybody asks, what app are you using whenever you're doing this? And it's just called Video Game Price Charts. It's not a well-known app. I think there's only like 10,000 downloads for it, but what it does is it gets the prices, just like videogamepricecharting.com. It gets the prices from Amazon, eBay, all that. It just what games are going for, and it'll also tell me if a game's exclusive or not, which is what you see me doing here. I'm not really checking prices. Sometimes I do, but I like to see if a game is exclusive, because if it's something that I need, it'll tell me. Now, understand the app is not 100% accurate, just like videogamepricecharting.com, because it doesn't really consider sold listings and what the game actually sells for. It's just kind of going with what the games are listed for. So you can ask any amount you want for a game. Whether it sells for that amount is a completely different story. So the pricing can be skewed all over the place. But it's a great tool to have in your arsenal. It's like I said, it helps me determine if something's exclusive, as well as an on-the-field idea of how much a game is worth. So I always use it. You'll see me use it a lot of times whenever I'm out hunting, just because I don't know every damn thing. There's a lot of things that I do know, but there's a lot more that I don't. So download it. I highly recommend it. Video Game Price Charts. It's got a little green icon. Like I said, it's not that well known. Only about 10,000 downloads or so, at least last time that I checked. But everybody asked me about it. I think one of the funnest things that I like about doing these videos whenever I'm showing something like this is the people that comment and says, you missed this and you left this behind. Because it'll blow my mind a lot of times. Like, are you kidding me? That was worth that, or that was this. Like, that's crazy. But that's why I love it, because you guys help me just like I help y'all. If you see something that I pick up that you may not have known about, y'all do the same thing with me. Like I said, the Ace Combat, the Belkin Wars, I had no idea. I figured it was just a cheap game. But that's the way it works a lot of times. That we all help each other in this community. Now you'll see here on the ground, I got, my stack that I'm building up just to kind of see exactly what I'm getting. I like to do that. I like to stack things and just kind of make that determination later. And of course I ended up getting, like, I think it was like 10 games, 10 or 11 games, I can't remember. I think it was 10. And I actually got one of the games for free. Keep in mind it was 3 for 10. I got 9 games, but for whatever reason my dumbass stacked 10 thinking that was the deal. I don't know what my head was thinking at the time. But I get 10 games here. One was free, and I get some absolute excellent gems right here. Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the original Xbox. It is an exclusive, and it's actually a really fun game. Definitely worth picking up. If you only collect exclusives for the original Xbox, go with that game right there. It's absolutely awesome. There's another Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, I believe what is it called, Chaos Bleeds or something like that. It's worth checking out too. One thing I was really grateful for was the fact that he just opened up the cages and let me look through all this stuff casually, which was awesome. A lot of times you go to these places and they won't do that at all. They'll be the ones to grab the game. You just got to kind of point and click. But maybe he would just want to talk to his buddy, get back to what he was doing. A lot of times, these places, they stereotypicalize people. If you got gauges, tattoos, you just look, like the type of person that, they're going to stand over your shoulder. They'll watch you. I get that all the time. I'm not that type of person, obviously, but that's just the world we live in, and it's slowly getting better. But I was able to look through all this stuff at my own leisure, and that's how I was able to get 10 awesome games. And I was really, like I said, I was really gracious of the fact that he just opened up the cages and let me do my own thing. And you'll get that sometimes, but don't expect it. A lot of times, like I said, people will just open the cages and they'll be the ones to, grab the games. You just do the pointing, they do the grabbing. So I found the 10 games that I wanted, took them up to the registers, and that's when he was all like, it's 3 for 10, not 10 for 30. I don't know why the hell my mind thought that, but it's what it was. He actually gave me that 10th game for free, which was awesome. Like I said, a lot of times pawn shops will haggle with you, they'll work with you, and I was just able to get the 10th game for free on this occasion right here. So it was an excellent pickup. I'm going to definitely make it a point to stop here more often. There is a Salvation Army right near it that I frequent more than I do this place. I'm going to try to stop in both now a lot more often than I already do. So here I am at the flea market again, and I come across a stack of already picked through games, but for $1 a piece, it's hard to resist. I get Wii U Just Dance, Just Dance for the Wii U, as well as Snow Cross 2 for the PlayStation 2. I didn't have it. I'm going to pick it up for $1. The Wii U game's going to pay for that, maybe make like $2 or $3 on top of that, so obviously I'm going to pick it up. I didn't have any damn money on me. I didn't have any change. I had to get them to hold it while I went to the ATM, which luckily they have one in the office, and they'll give you change right there, which is, the flea market that we have is underrated. It's small, it's tiny, but they do a lot of really good things. They charge a little bit high for the table prices, but, as far as, ATMs giving out, change doesn't cost you anything, it's pretty cool. As well as the staff is awesome. This is why I always say be friendly with other vendors, get to know them. One came up to me, he says, I haven't found anything all day, but I got a guy holding a Game Gear with a few games for $3. He said the guy wanted 10, but he knocked him down to 3, and he says I could take it if I wanted. Of course I'm going to jump on that. It actually worked. It had the battery pack and everything. It does need recapping. The sound caps are really bad. But that's why I always say be friendly with him. He could have bought this. He could have flipped it if he wanted, but he gave it to me. And I'm going to do the same thing for him. I actually know he looks out for vinyl records, and I don't really know that much about him. So anytime that I see anything in particular that he may be interested in, I'm going to let him know. But always be friendly with other vendors, other resellers, and things like this will happen to you. It's not going to be often that it does, but when it does, it makes it all worth it. And you get to know some really awesome people in the process. So here I am still at the flea market, and I see this guy setting out some games. The 360 games with the green case is what caught my eye. Shuffle on over to him, and I see him setting out some random things, a few Wii games. The 360 he wanted to bundle. He wanted like 175 for, I wasn't even going to mess with it. Didn't even want to look through the games. The DS games, however, I do find one that I did not have, which was Mystery Case Files Millionaire. I paid $2 for it. It's not a terrible pickup. Like I said, I got this weird addiction where I got to get all sorts of shovelware, bloatware style games for the DS and the Wii, and actually the Mystery Case File games aren't that terrible to begin with. So for $2, I picked it up. It wasn't terrible. Here's an example of always check with people who have DVDs because you never know what they're going to have. And this guy had a few games mixed in. I was able to pick up The Sims 2 as well as this white PlayStation Portable PSP, which I think is the Star Wars edition. I could be wrong on that, but it was missing the battery. It didn't have a pack. Obviously, it wasn't going to turn on. But I paid $6 for The Sims 2 as well as this PSP and then a copy of Super Monkey Ball for the DS as well. So it's worth the risk. I mean, obviously. There's a chance of it not working, but if it does, it's going to be a great resale item. And I keep PSP batteries on hand. It's always good to keep that stuff in supply. I keep screens for Game Boys of all kinds, Advance, SPs, original Game Boy, as well as batteries. So always keep that stuff on hand, as well as battery compartment lids or covers, whatever you want to call them, because how many times do you come across a Game Boy Advance that is missing the back? And you can get this stuff cheap in bulk on eBay or other places, and it's good to have a steady supply of it. Like I said, whenever I find one of these out in the wild, a lot of times I already have a replacement screen, I have a replacement battery compartment cover, and it's a quick, easy fix and flip. So here's my buddy you've seen in a lot of pickups before. He's awesome. I always like to support him when I can. And he said he had some stuff he wanted me to look through. Like I said, a lot of times he'll just kind of hold stuff. He'll know that I'm going to look through it at some point. And he didn't have much here, but I was able to find 2 PlayStation 1 controllers, as well as a PlayStation 2 game that I can bundle with the system later. And I gave him $5 for it. And, I asked him how much he wanted. He said 5. I didn't even want to haggle him on there. It wasn't a terrible deal. Unfortunately, the PlayStation 3 controller right there was busted. The joystick was completely shot. Had it been working or, in good condition, I would have picked it up, but I left it behind. But like I said, I like to show my support with this guy and pick up anything that I can, even if it's nothing crazy, just for the fact that he'll hold stuff for me a lot of times. You've seen in one of my live pickup videos, he held this big bag of Game Boy Advance games. It turned out to be an excellent pickup right there. So I'll always try to make it a point to stop, talk to him, be friendly. He's a very funny dude. Me and him always talk, and he resells online as well as here at the flea market. He buys a bunch of storage units. He knows I do the same thing, but I also collect. So me and him always talk, and it's always worth a point to stop and check him out. And I want to tell you again, always grab your controllers out in the wild if you can get them for cheap, but make sure you're checking the actual cords on them, make sure there's no fray, it's not split or anything like that. And now if it's like a N64 controller, GameCube controller, yeah, I mean, hell, really any controller, and it's frayed at the top, if it's got some exposed wires at the top where it meets the controller, that's not that big of a deal, because if you know what you're doing, you can open it up and just resolder the connection. You can make the controller maybe like 3 inches shorter, the cord, and actually fix that, and no one would know the difference. It's a completely revolutionized, refurbished controller with no splits in it. But if the splits are further down the line, I mean, you can't cut 3 foot out of a damn cord. But if you have a defective cord on a controller, or a defective controller that has a good cord, you can just swap the cables or swap the cords themselves, and you can fix these things. Because keep in mind, N64 controllers, GameCube controllers, PlayStation 2 controllers, they sell for quite a bit, and they are definitely sought after. Official ones especially, always go after them when you can, if you can get them for dirt cheap. So that's why you'll always see me press all the buttons, move the joystick around, and just make sure it's going to be okay. Check out that cord especially, because that's one of the big deals right there. If you have an N64 controller with a beautiful stick on there, it works absolutely perfect, but it's got a split in the cord, it just completely diminishes the value on that thing. So I always check these things out. That's one thing I can highly suggest to you. So this guy right here is actually another vendor, and he knows that I resell games. He sees me all the time on Facebook posting consoles and whatnot. He says, I got some stuff I brought with me, and N64, some other things, and he's going to let me look at it as he's setting the stuff up. He said, come by and I'll let you, get the first look at all this stuff, which is awesome. Like I said, always be, kind and courteous. You never know where it will get you, and I do find some really awesome stuff from him. Now you'll see here he pulls out 2 bins, and one bin was a GameCube couple of controllers, and then an N64 with a few controllers as well, all official. The 2 original Game Boy games here are Donkey Kong Land as well as Kirby's Dream Land. If you've never played any of the Kirby's games, start with Kirby's Dream Land. It's absolutely a wonderful experience. Now, unfortunately, it didn't have any other GameCube games besides what was in there, or N64 games, but I was still able to pick up some stuff. Always check the compartment on the N64 to see if an expansion pack is in there, because it'll determine should you pay more than $20 for this console. It's a big deal factor right there. It enables you to pay to play certain games that you cannot without it. So I asked him how much he wanted for this N64, and I believe he said $40, which is not a terrible deal. Ultimately, I got this N64 with the two controllers. It had the expansion pack in there, and I got these two games right here, Kirby's Dream Land and Donkey Kong Land, and I paid $35 for everything. I was honest with him, and he's honest with me. He knows that I resell the stuff, and I told him my intentions with it. But I also told him, I was like, that's how I build my collection, and he was cool about it. So I was very happy about it, and I was actually able to get two really awesome toys here you're going to see, as well as some awesome Wii games and a 360 game I did not have. So here's a pretty cool pickup where the prices just kind of accidentally got lower and lower. I wouldn't say accidentally, it's just kind of how it fell. I asked him how much these games were. He said $2 a piece, which is a good deal. So I'm going to say, well, will you do 2 for 3? Because there's two games here that I see. I only had $4 in my wallet. Of course, I get the 2 for 3 deal. And then I was like, you know what? I got one more dollar. Can I get one more game? So ultimately, I picked up 3 games here. Singularity is an excellent game. If you've never played that game, I highly recommend picking it up. I also got the Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories with the expansions in there. I think the Ballad of Gay Tony and whatnot. So, I mean, it's crazy how this deal kind of fell, but it was kind of funny at the same time. And I also got this 360 game here that I did not have. So for 3 games, $4, it was an excellent pickup. I wasn't really trying to beat this guy down on his prices. I even showed him my wallet. I was like, check this out. Look inside. I only got $1 left. Would you be willing to do one more game for $1? So I was happy about it. He was happy about it, and I didn't feel, terrible about it. But that's just how it, kind of rolls sometimes. Sometimes you'll say, let me get this game. Do you have change? They don't have change. They just kind of give it to you. It's just the way it works. So like I said, 3 games, $4, excellent pickups. 2 of I did not have, 1 that I can bundle or sell later and recoup the cost. And you'll see here after I got my 2 for 3 deal, that's when I was like, you know what, I got one other dollar. Is it cool to go ahead and pick up this last game? And he was okay with it, so I was, definitely ecstatic about it. Now here I am going back to the guy that I got the N64 from, and notice all the toys that he has set up right here. There's 2 toys that I ended up picking up from him that were very awesome, and we were kind of going to work out a trade here because he saw that I had a Game Gear and he was interested in it, but I told him, I was like, man, I don't know how well this thing actually works, so I wanted to plug it up and show him. I mean, if it worked to some degree, I didn't mind doing a trade at all for the 2 toys. He had... and I don't think that I get them on camera. You'll have to see them in the pickups. But I get this really awesome. They were both sealed. It was a Resident Evil toy that had 2 of the zombies in there, as well as this really awesome Puppet Masters toy. And he wanted, I think, $8 a piece for them. And I told him, I was like, well, I'll trade you this Game Gear if that's something you were interested in. But I wanted to be honest with him because I didn't know if the thing worked that well. So I wanted to check it out, test it, and see how well it did. So the Game Gear worked, it turned on, but the sound was crap. It was real crackly, it was very distorted. It just needs a recap change on the soundboard for it, but I'm going to do a complete recap on the whole thing in general. So I wasn't really that comfortable with selling it to him or trading it with him because, like I said, he was giving me a good deal on the toys. I wanted to give him a good deal with the Game Gear, but it was unworking. It wasn't working as well as I would have liked. So we both kind of agreed not to do the trade. But I still picked up the toys, which you'll see in the pickups, which are absolutely excellent. I'm getting into the whole toy scene, especially that Resident Evil figures were very cool. But then I pull out that stack of Wii games that he had, and he had some 360 games in there, and we were able to get both of those toys, as well as 5 games, and I paid $20 total, and you'll see the toys or the games here that I pick up. Now, I know for a fact that he typically sells his games for $2 a piece, which is a great deal. I mean, obviously, you see the Metal Gear Solid HD collection right there, which is one that I'm definitely going to pick up. But he says, for you, $1 a piece, since you're getting the 2 toys, I'll do, $20. You can get those in 5 games. And I hear that a lot, for you, and I think the reason for that is because, like I said, I'm friends with these people. I'm very kind and courteous, and I get to know them, and I try to pick up stuff when I can. So I was able to get at least 3 Wii games that I did not have, as well as the 360 game, which is one that I definitely needed. I've been looking for the Silent Hill Collector's Edition, the HD collection, but that one's pretty sought after for the 360, and it holds value pretty damn well. So here you will see the 5 games that I ended up picking up. You don't get to see the toys, but like I said, check it out in the pickups. They are absolutely awesome, and I know I got some toy nuts that like watching this channel too, and I think you will agree that I did pretty well with them. So here we are with the last pickup of the week, and I'm going to go ahead and say this is my favorite one. I didn't get anything extremely crazy or anything, but the reason for it is because it was from a hole-in-the-wall, video rental store, and you don't see those that often. Obviously, with the fall of Blockbuster, the rise of things like Netflix, these places are getting more and more obsolete. But I was driving down to visit a friend of mine, and I saw this place just out of the corner of my eye, and on my way back, I was like, you know what, it might be worth checking out just to see if they have anything. And I'm glad I did, because I was able to get 6 really awesome games, and all I paid was $10 for all this. Now, there was one Transformers game that you'll see me pick up that he actually could not find, so I actually substituted it for the Guitar Hero 5 on the 360, as well as I got it for the Wii because those are great resellers. There's only really a couple games here that I'm going to keep, and the rest are going to be resells. But check this out, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 14, that's an overlooked sports game that's worth a fair amount. I think it's about a $10, $15 game. Obviously, this stuff could have been picked through. Hell, it could have been sitting for a long time, but I'm still able to find some good stuff. So obviously, it's not, look through that often, but it's just really cool to see a rental store nowadays. You can see he's got the pricing over here. It sucks that, nowadays you don't really see this sort of thing. It's what it is. The times have changed. It's more convenient to get, do Netflix, to download game or to download movies or rent them online. So it's just going to happen. I thought the Bigs 2 was worth something for the Wii, but it wasn't. I did leave it behind after I checked it out on my phone. I think it's worth more for the 360. That's the one you need to look for. But check out the pickups here, and you'll see all that I get, because I know I don't really go over it that well with my Gorilla-style camera work here. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed all that awesome live footage, and just like always, I want to go over everything here on a one-on-one level. If I can remember anything about it, I'll tell you. If not, we're just going to kind of zoom through it, because it's never in any particular order. I always get scattered around, and since this is 2 weeks worth, I can barely remember any of it. So anyways, let's get started. The first thing I want to grab is these 2 toys. Oh, I'm getting into the toy scene, man. I'm loving it. I picked these up. Both of these were $15 combined. We got the Puppet Master. Very awesome right there. I love that series right there. Excellent movie series. That was very cool. And this one right here definitely caught my eye. This is going to be great for the game room. And that's the Resident Evil toy right here. Comes with 2 of the zombies. The zombie's like spring-loaded. He shoots up. Very awesome right there. Very cool. Paid, like I said, $15 for both of those. I think that was an excellent deal right there. Very happy about that. From the same person, I picked up an N64. And I paid $35 for the N64. 2 controllers, one of them has a memory card. Don't ever overlook your memory cards. Memory cards are going up in price because everybody needs one. But I paid $35 for the two controllers, the 64, 2 games, Donkey Kong Land and Kirby's Dream Land. If you've never played Kirby's Dream Land, that's an excellent game. But the reason I picked it up mainly, oh shit, it's because it has the expansion pack right there. That alone's like 20, 25 bucks, and I keep the jumpers on hand. I'll put the jumper in here, and I'll sell that thing separately. So that's going to work perfectly right there. The 2 controllers, they are actually in pretty decent condition. You can always tell a controller just from its joystick. This one's a little bit loose. People rate joystick controllers on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being, tight and perfect. Like this one right here would probably be more like a 7 out of 10. And this one over here, probably more like a 6 out of 10. Don't ever be confused. There is a 10 out of 10 is not completely, N64 controllers, brand new, have just a little bit of play in them. But they're excellent right there. So I'm happy about those 2 official controllers. $35 for all that. That was an excellent deal right there. I was very happy about that. Anytime I can get some retro stuff. And I need N64s. I never have enough of them in my inventory. I picked this up for $5. This is the special white PSP right here. I think this is the Star Wars edition, if I'm not mistaken. Has a game inside of it. I don't think it's anything special. NBA Ballers Rebound. I don't know. But it's missing the battery, missing the actual cap right here. The screen's in pretty decent condition. Hopefully it works. It's a gamble at $5. I'll take the risk. I'm not worried about it. Oh, Lord. There's the cables for the N64. You don't need to see that. Side note, picked up a Walkman. I didn't really find anything else. I paid $1 for the Walkman Sports. Because I sell other shit besides video games. Video games just helped me build this collection. I don't remember a lot of this stuff. But we're just going to go through it. Like I said, I don't remember the pricing, I don't think. The Sims 2 for the DS. Got that one. I didn't have. I think I paid $2 for this one. Mystery Case Files. Millionaire. Millionaire, yeah. There we go. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. I paid... What did I get with that? I know I got some other shit. I don't know. Can't remember. But let's see. We got 2 PlayStation 1 controllers. I picked these up from the buddy of mine at the flea market. I paid $5 for these 2, and then 1 game, and the game wasn't nothing, anything crazy. I think it was this one right here, Splinter Cell, but I paid him $5 for that. I always use controllers. I like helping him out. He's a cool dude. Let's see. God, I really wish I could remember this stuff. I picked these up. I think I paid... I got 4 games for like $5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, 3 games for $4. I honestly can't remember. When I go back and I actually do all the narration, I can remember it because I can see what the hell happened. But when I'm doing this, I always do this first before I do the narration. We got Divinity 2 Ego Dragons. I can't. Looks pretty neat. If you've never played this game, I highly recommend it. It's a very excellent game. Singularity, very awesome. Holds up today very well. And then Grand Theft Auto 2 complete games. You got the episodes from Liberty Cities and the Ballad of Gay Tony. Very awesome right there. I love my GTA series. Don't remember where that came from either. I got 5 games from the buddy that I got the N64 from for, I know what it was. Yeah, the 2 toys, I paid $15, and then I got 5 games for an additional $5, so it was $20 altogether. And then the games that I got, I think, I can't remember, I think The Simpsons Road Rage was in there, which is a good bundled game, absolutely. SpongeBob's Boating Bash for the Wii. This is a good one right here that I needed. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection. I need the Silent Hill collection right there. That'd be an awesome one to have. Score International Baja 1000, the official game. And then 30 Family Party, Great Games, Outdoor Fun for the Wii. God almighty, those are solid titles. Picked those up, like I said, $20 for the toys and those games right there. Very excellent. Picked these up, they were just random. Snowcross 2 for the PlayStation 2, which I don't think I have, and it might be exclusive. And then Just Dance 4 for the Wii U. I paid, I want to say $2, $1 a piece for both those. And I got a bin. I love bins, man. I always have them. So that's good right there. What else we got right here? Oh, buddy of mine. That's why I always say be friends with all the resellers, other vendors right there. He comes up to me. He's all like, "Hey, the only thing I found this morning was a Game Gear. Guy wanted $10. I offered him 3. If you want it, you can have it." Of course, I'm gonna take it. It has the bag right here. And inside was an actual Game Gear. 2, just basic game, or 3 games. Miss Pac-Man, Garfield. The battery pack, which does work. A manual for Miss Pac-Man. And I think Sonic 2, of course, because you can't have a Game Gear without Sonic 2. Paid $3 for that, man. That's an excellent deal right there. And it does need a recapping, but, eventually I'll do it. I wish I had more time for recaps. I got a lot to do. This was my last pickup of the week. We still got other stuff to go through. This is my last one that I got. I saw a rental store. Some of you don't know what a rental store is. Those are stores where you can go and rent shit. Like, movies and whatnot. I was like, well, damn, that's a hole-in-the-wall rental store. I wonder if they got any games. And sure enough, they did. And I got all these for $2 a piece. Actually, I got 6 games for $10. Yeah, so it was a little less than $2. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 14, which I think sells for like $10 or $15. Guitar Hero 5, which sells for like $10 or so. Same for the 360. Deadly Creatures for the Wii. These are all just resale games. These are the only 2 games that I'm actually keeping. Birthday Party Bash, and then Transformers Cybertron Adventure. Awesome right there. So be able to make a little bit of money, and I get to keep some games and build the collection, which is what it's all about. Excellent. God, where's all this shit come from? Let's see here. I'm trying to remember all the games here and whatnot. Not easy. I swear I'm missing something. I got these. Oh, and the DS games. That's right. There were some excellent DS games. Where the hell are those at? There they are. Make sure I show you all these in one because it was all the same stop. Yeah. I can't remember what I paid for these. I can't remember where the hell I got that one from either. But I think it worked out to be like $3 a game or something. It was at a pawn shop when I never have luck at this pawn shop. I stopped in there and I had luck at the pawn shop, so I was happy about it. So we got some DS games. We got Wario Master of Disguise. I did not have that. Excellent. This is not Zelda Triforce Heroes. It is the case, but inside the case was Zelda Spirit Tracks for the DS. Awesome. And we got Diddy Kong Racing DS. Very cool. And one that I did not have was DK Jungle Climber. And then, let's see what else we got. We got Bully for the PlayStation 2. This is the ultimate bundler right here. If you put this with the PlayStation 2, it will sell. Bully is awesome. Good resale game here. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's see here. We got, this is one for me to keep, Activision Anthology for the PlayStation 2. Keep in mind, I only paid like $3. Maybe like a little less than $3 is what it worked out to be. Prism Chapter 1, The Dark Unicorn. A subscriber told me to pick this up anytime I seen it because it is worth a little bit, and it is. So I'm glad I know that now, which is Ace Combat, The Belkin War. Pick that up. And then the icing on the cake, the best one out of them all, is Mega Man X8 right there. Like $3, less than $3 a piece. You know that's going to pay for everything right there. That was excellent. Absolutely awesome pickup. Let's see. Before we continue on, let's go ahead and announce the 2 winners to the weekly contest giveaway. Since I'm a week behind, I always announce 2 to catch up. And then we'll go over the rest of the stuff. So the 2 winners for this week's contest, we have Luke Waring, Lukewearing, I believe, Waring. You're one of the winners. $20 store credit to my eBay store. Hopefully I'll start listing some more once I get some more time, but you got $20 store credit. If you see a game, $20, you get it for free. If you see one for $30, you get it for $10. It works that way. Send me a message on Instagram if you can, and we'll work out a deal. And the second winner to the weekly contest giveaway is G Dilla. G-D-I-L-L-A. Hey, check it out. You both are the winner. Congratulations. If you didn't win, there's always next time. Like, comment, subscribe, you all that, and then you're entered. Let's get back to it. Congratulations to both of y'all. Send me a message on Instagram. Let's see. I don't remember where I got these 2 games. This is one that I did not know if I had or not. Secret Weapons over Normandy for the original Xbox. Maybe. I don't know. A Realm Reborn. Picked that up. I picked these up both from the same guy. I got those 2, as well as a NES controller, which is not frayed or split. Buttons seem intact, so hopefully that works. A complete Guitar Hero tour for the DS, and a Namco plug and play the Pac-Man, and I think this actually sells for like $10 or so. I paid $10 for all that, so that was an excellent pickup right there. Very happy about it. What else is in here? Some other shit. Centipede Warlords, a Game Boy game. I guess that was with it. I can't remember. Alright. As much as I have knocked Goodwill in my sucky side of Goodwill, if you have not seen it, check it out. The ironic thing is I actually like a handful of finds from them this week. Never fucking happens anymore. But these are all Goodwill finds, as you will see, and the only way that you get lucky at Goodwill, or at least I get lucky anymore, is if the employees just put it out. The ones who don't do all the pricing just throw the games out there. It's the only way you're going to get lucky now, because they all individually price shit from eBay. But this stuff was not. First, I found this just on the shelf, $1.50 for Twilight Princess. This is not an expensive game. This game only goes for like $10. But I can't just like leave a Zelda game behind for $1.50. I'll bundle that. Also picked up De Blob for $1. Did not know if I had it. Let's see, I also got Grand Slam Tennis, which I think is exclusive. Paid $1 for that one as well. Let's see here. These were in the cage, but they were priced not by the person who does the pricing, because obviously when you see the prices of stuff, you'll be like, oh, it would have been priced a lot higher had it been the fuckhead who normally does. So for $1, I got Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, for $1. I got Okami here, which was priced at $5, a little bit high, but it's like a $15, $20 game, and it has the memory card in there, which I forgot about completely. Very beautiful game, excellent art style. I paid $1 for The Lion King 1.5, and it's like a $10, $15 game, one I did not have. Let's see, this one game right here was in there, and it was marked down because he had this literally individually priced eBay style, and I guess someone, not him, went and just, they put an actual price on it. This is never happens at Goodwill. Goodwill is such a shitty corporation. If you have not seen that video, I highly suggest it. The sucky thing about it is some of the employees said, I used to work there. Everything you said is true. That sucks, man, because I said a lot of shitty things. Stunt Race FX right here uses the FX chip. This game goes for like 10 or 15 bucks. I actually got that for $2. And then for $4, a little bit higher, The Lion King. But that, again, that's another like $10, $15 game. Excellent right there. And then the last three things that I got from Goodwill were just controllers, but they were decently priced. We have the official black N64 controller. Decent stick, probably about 7 out of 10, I'd say, on the joystick. And then the last two things, which were a decent price considering what they are, is $5 a piece for pretty good condition GameCube controllers. People buy these things modern now because they have a lot of Smash Brothers tournaments and they need something good. They sell for about $20 each, $3 shipping, $5 in. I'll make a little bit off of it, but that's a good deal right there. But that's it. That's all I got this week, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I got a feeling it's going to be a while before we get another live episode. Like I said, next week is going to be footage from the convention. I don't know. It's that time of the year. I'm not shutting this channel down. Obviously, I always got all my other content. But as far as the live pickups, it's just going to be slower. I'm going to have to hit up more thrift stores. Hopefully get more Craigslist deals. That's the kind of good thing about it, is when it does get colder, the flea market kind of dries up. The yard sales dry up, but the thrift stores typically get a little bit more inventory, as well as you see a lot more off-road Craigslist deals, that sort of thing. So hopefully, one goes down, the other will pick up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you all so much for your support. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.